Today is April 15th, 2024. It is also tax day, and it is also the day of strike for the Strike for Gaza. And I wanted to use my small platform that I have to speak up against the genocide that is happening against Palestinian men, women, children, and everything in between in Gaza. Specifically from the West Bank, through the Gaza Strip, through Rafah, and everywhere else that the IDF has struck and attempted to occupy for decades, as far back as the 1940s. Let's start the list, shall we? Just to put into perspective how horrible everything is. Every 15 minutes, a child's life is ruined, both out of injury and death. More often than not, they are infant, barely able to walk, and even if they could walk, have been starved to the point of malnutrition and dehydration and can no longer do so. Every 1 in 100 children is killed by the occupational forces of Israel. 1 in 100. There is over 600, sorry, I misread that, 600,000 children in Palestine right now. Obviously, this number is more, but the entire population of Palestine is 2.5 million. That is 1 in 100 of that 500,000 dying and being injured every 15 minutes. Israel is known to have purposefully bombed schools, regardless of any information of the supposed terrorists that are in said buildings. They do it on purpose. It is known. We have had radio transmissions and whatever you want to call them of people literally talking over the air of deciding whether they should bomb a school or not, regardless if there are children present or not. Now, obviously, we've seen the videos. We have seen the snippets. We have seen the war. This is one of the many, many wars in the 21st century that is being televised and put online for all to see without censorship. Everyone has a phone now. Everyone is recording. All the eyes are on Gaza. And yet we still do nothing. Israel is also known to purposefully attack embassies, such as the Iran embassy, and at least going so close as to tease the bull, so to say. And obviously, as of April 15th, missiles have been launched by Iran in retaliation for the strike on their embassy. And here we are having people saying, look at what Iran is doing. Obviously, that's just the Western media painting everything in the Middle East in a bad light, despite the fact that they have more of a right to defend themselves than Israel did in any of this. They are an occupational force. They are imperialistic and colonizers. This is not me throwing buzzwords around. This is not me just saying shit out of my ass. That is what they are. They are colonizers. The founder of Zionism himself has said that it is colonialization, gifted by God. They know what they are doing. This is not some led astray. Everyone that is in the IDF joined of their own free will and hatred for the other. They are all responsible for every dead Palestinian. Blood stains their hands, even if they do not hold a rifle, even if they are not driving the tanks. If they are a service member, blood is on their hands. That's how it works. Whenever you join into an occupational force and you willingly know what they are up about and have been fed the propaganda throughout the entirety of your life that leads you to join, you are still a part of the problem. You do not have the excuse of, I'm just protecting my country, or anything like that. You do not have an excuse of having it be the world's largest military and media churning of having been fed the lie. Like here in America. Blood is on so many people's hands. And that is the truth. Over 50 pages could fill the names of children alone that have been killed. 50 pages. Open up a Google Doc. Type as many names as you can think of. Do that 50 times. And then do it another 50. And that's just the children alone. "11-year-olds that have died in Gaza lived through 3 wars. In 2012, 2016, 2021, only to now die in 2024 and in 2023. They should have at least lived through 1 war, but they were forced to be put through 3 and then died in the 4th. Half of the 2.3 million population are under 18. Let that sink in. 2.3 million people live in Palestine. Almost half of them are under 18. This is not because it is a young population. No, quite the opposite. It is because purposefully the men and women and adults were killed, leaving only the children behind and those that were not suitable to try and defend against the occupational terrorist. 625,000 children are forced out of school. We all hate school. Some of us love it. Sometimes we think it's a drag. But it's a place where a child feels safe. It should be. It is a place where they are learning. They are experiencing life. They are finding out about the world. And now they are forced out of those fun times with friends, teachers, family, coming home, showing a successful test, or a project they made in art. Only now, there is no school. There is no house. There is no fridge to put achievements up on, because it's buried under 6 feet of concrete. Almost 100,000 of the 2.3 million population of Palestine are injured, and over 33.6 thousand are dead since October 7th, 2023 alone. This is a genocide. There is no way to put it otherwise. It is not a conflict. It is not a Hamas versus Israel war. Israel created Hamas. That's what happens whenever you put your boot under a group and oppress them. Eventually, they get fed up, and they try to rise up. But like any other revolutionary group, they are seen as the ones wrong. Yes, I know. Before you go to the comments and saying, what about blah blah blah? What about this one? What about that one? No shit. There is nuance in everything. That's why it's so easy to paint things black and white, because most people don't listen to the nuance. These children will grow up hopefully, will grow up in a world where they were seen as evil because they lived on a piece of land that they had lived in for centuries. And then, at the turn of another century, it's ours now. And they were killed for it. While I would obviously say that I condemn the actions of these children in the future if they do anything bad, anything that happens is deserved. Free Palestine. Free them all. Everyone. All over the world. And end the genocide. All eyes on Gaza.